In our headlines for this evening, locally, Ministry of Foreign Affairs seeks to remove travel restrictions, and Antigua Observer highlights Nevis as the ideal location for a day trip. The details are straight ahead. Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast for today, Wednesday, February 25th, 2015. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis have the assurance that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, under the leadership of the Honourable Mark Brantley, will seek to remove travel advisories that are currently in place for the country. According to local media, Brantley says he has a major task ahead but is committed to getting the job done. He says, as Minister of Foreign Affairs, the country's chief diplomat, he has a very difficult task as the country tries to resolve issues with Canada and other friendly governments throughout the region. Minister Brantley has assured the public that the issue will get the first and foremost attention from him and the new government. Speaking to the Honourable Dr. Timothy Harris's desire to have the travel restrictions removed, Minister Brantley says the Prime Minister has made it very clear that these are issues that he wants resolved, and so in the next few days and weeks the government will be engaging actively as it seeks to get these matters resolved ultimately for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Okay, the festival runs the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, April 16, 17, 18 here at this site at Awali Bay, and then on the Friday also the 17th, the lunchtime, the international artists will be in Charlestown on a small stage doing an acoustic set.
That was Richard Pavitt of New Gene Records, one of the organizers of the first Nevis Blues Festival. Pavitt was speaking about the activities leading up to the much anticipated 3-night festival. Pavitt explained the reason for choosing the venue.
I looked at a lot of sites around the island, and there are several that have longer term potential, but they're too large for our first one. So we wanted something a bit more intimate. And it was by pure chance that John said, well, look, have a look at this site on Awali Bay. And it was a jungle, but if you could use your imagination and view it as what it could be, I think it's going to, when this is nighttime and it's starlit and there's floodlights and the stage, I think it'll be magical with the beach right next to us.
When asked who the target audience is, Pavitt had this to say.
One of the reasons for doing it in the mid-late part of April was to try and extend the tourist season for the island. So hopefully we will have people flying in from the States, probably less so from the UK this year because our marketing that far away was probably too late. And the flights are limited as well. There's a lot of people flying in for the cricket in Antigua that week, so the flights are all booked from the UK. So I think the majority of our incoming people will be from the States and other islands around here. And I'm hoping we'll get a good turnout of people from the island, from Nevis and St. Kitts, who want to come and see what it's about, support it, take part in the excitement.
Tickets can be bought on the website nevisbluesfestival.com or from the Nevis Tourism Authority. Nevis may be the ideal location for someone looking for a day trip or weekend getaway, so notes the Antigua Observer's Kyle Christian in Monday's edition of the publication. Christian was among a delegation of 4, including CEO Colin James and Shari Dickinson of the Antigua Tourism Authority, who visited Nevis on Friday when the Antigua-based airline Caribbean Helicopters made its inaugural flight into Nevis. The delegation was hosted by like Julie Claxton of the Nevis Tourism Authority, who was pleased to show off what the 36 square mile island has to offer. Christian tells his readers that Nevis's capital, Charlestown, with its colonial-style brick buildings, is a small, clean, and quaint town. Nevis's Preservation Society protects the city from any development that doesn't conform to its laid-back spirit. The small island population, 12,000, has about 8 major hotel properties, and tourism is the major employer and economic driver. Christian highlights some choices of accommodation in the famous Four Seasons Resort Nevis, the Nisbet Plantation Beach Club, which offers a charming lounge where its guests may read a book while having afternoon tea, and the 300-year-old luxurious Montpelier Plantation Inn, which has done well in preserving its authentic Caribbean look, and the old sugar mill on the property, which is now a restaurant. He advises that before they leave, visitors must see historic Bath Village, where they can take a dip in the natural hot spring known for curing rheumatism, as well as the Bath Hotel, the first hotel built in the Caribbean. Visitors can also stop at El Dario Jones's mobile bare necessities for towels, slippers, locally made soaps, oils and sprays, snacks, everything they need for a dip in the restored hot spring. Stay with us, we'll have more local news after this break.
You are watching NTV!
Welcome back. The Nevis Island Administration's Department of Youth and Sports has commenced efforts towards the chartering of a Toastmasters club on the island. Toastmasters International is a world leader in communication and leadership development. The organization provides a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop speaking and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Saturday's awareness and educational session was held at the conference room of the Department of Youth and Sports.
Toastmasters is a club that I heard about many years ago, and I think I've been in communication with Toastmasters for over probably just about a year, trying to get a Toastmasters club to Nevis. Many people are always talking about the fact that they're shy, that they don't have what it takes to speak publicly. I was one of those shy people, and I don't think I'm as shy now. But with practice and with time, we soon learn that we can become better persons, we can become better speakers. And so that is one of the reasons why I pursued this organization, and I hope that we can learn much more about what it offers this evening and definitely share interest and become permanent members of Toastmasters International.
Toastmasters International has as its values integrity, respect, service, and excellence. The organization's district missions build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. Valerie Brazier is the district governor for Toastmasters District 81, which is comprised of 136 clubs and divisions in the Caribbean. Brazier will be the sponsor of the club here in Nevis. Once the club is established, its members will be required to meet twice weekly. By regularly giving speeches, gaining feedback, leading teams, and guiding others to achieve their goals in a supportive atmosphere, leaders are expected to emerge from the program. The club here in Nevis is expected to be chartered by the end of March. Interested persons can call or visit the Department of Youth and Sports for more information. Officials from the Nevis Island Administration's Ministry of Health say they are grateful to the Dr. Charlie Rouse Cardiac Foundation for once again partnering with the ministry to promote healthy living among the island's residents. Dr. Rouse is this week collaborating with the ministry to host various activities to promote cardiac health. The most recent was a free screening clinic held last evening in the Cherry Garden community.
As you can see, the turnout for this event was really good. It's getting better. One of his assistants does a BMI, and this BMI is done by doing the patient's weight, and she takes their height, and she uses those two figures and she calculates their body mass index. After she's doing the body mass, after she's finished doing the body mass index, then the patient is turned over to a nurse who then does the blood sugar test. After the blood sugar test is done, then the patient is then turned over to another nurse who's going to do the blood pressure test. If these figures are too high or they're in question by either of the nurses, they then turn them over to Dr. Rouse, who's going to have a small talk with the patient, and he discusses lifestyle, eating habits, and then he talks to them and tells them about the different things you can do to lower those numbers and what's the next step.
The screening was an opportunity for persons to learn how to manage their health, especially if they are diabetic or hypertensive.
It's all about lowering the numbers, knowing your numbers, getting tested to know if you're hypertensive, if you might be diabetic, and if you're not, what you can continue doing to be healthy and to stay healthy. We're grateful that Dr. Rouse is here once again. He's been visiting the island from 2013, and this is his first visit for 2015.
Dr. Rouse, along with celebrity chef Marvin and Woods and food and nutrition specialist Chef Michael Henville, also participated in the Ministry of Health's Chef Academy held yesterday at the Charlestown Primary School. Director of the Pan American Health Organization PAHO, Dr. Carissa Etienne, has expressed a desire for the newly elected St. Kitts and Nevis government to place the health sector in a prominent position. Dr. Etienne and Country Program Coordinator for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, Dr. Godfrey Shurab, are currently in the Federation attending the Caribbean Sub-Regional Managers meeting. She says she looks forward to meeting the new government and having some discussions as they begin their journey on national development, adding that PAHO would like to see health well positioned in this. Dr. Etienne notes that the sub-regional managers meeting is rotated on an annual basis, so it is not by chance that the meeting is being held in St. Kitts and Nevis at this time. Health managers from Jamaica, Bahamas, Trinidad, Guyana, Suriname, and Barbados, and host country St. Kitts and Nevis are expected to discuss how best they can assist the sub-region of the Caribbean to reach their individual Millennium Health objectives and targets. This is in keeping with PAHO's mandate to ensure the well-being and health of all the peoples of the Americas. Meantime, Dr. Shurab says he hopes for productive discussions with the new government, as well as a productive sub-regional managers meeting, which will also discuss how PAHO can become more efficient and effective in the technical cooperation that it gives to countries. That's it for tonight's edition of the Nevis Newscast. Thank you for viewing. Good night.